Van here with the Van Life Biker Show. Smash that like, give me a sub, and share, guys. Let's build this channel. Appreciate your support. What up, peeps? Van here, Van Life Biker Show. I am super excited today. And those of you who are in the XRP community, you know why. But this isn't a crypto channel. But if you don't own XRP, you probably should look into it. Not financial advice, but personally, I think we are ready to explode. So I think I touched base on this last time with the little happy Easter to everybody. And tore out our cabinet. Yep, it sucks. But it's not going to be too hard. See, we've got a little framing down there, a little base I built. So we'll just have to cut that out. That's just sitting there in place right now so I can get a measurement on things. And it's going to open up a lot more door space. Wanted to put the drawer in here as well because I really wanted that drawer cabinet, but it brought it out even farther than it was. And it was just going to be too tight, guys. It was, you know, probably, I mean, if you've ever seen a house under construction where you put studs at 16 inches on center, you know, most people can get through there, but, you know, trying to come up that step, I mean, I've got a pallet there to help during this build because it's you know, quite the step. But, you know, trying to come up that step sideways, kind of like how you would come through a stud bay, just too difficult. But we've got another surprise. I did get finished. Gonna have to get in here, unfortunately, and get this wash machine and refrigerator taken out. I think I'll be okay with the water heater, and I probably won't take them out. I'll just probably slide them over here to the cabinet while I'm reconstructing this. I've got to reconstruct that base down there below. So I'll just pull all this stuff out of here. Stabbed it in here last night because we got a little drizzle. Didn't want to mess up the plywood. This stuff's expensive. So it'll be utilized. We're not wasting anything. There's still plenty of cabinetry to go, you know, up in our upper cabinets and such. So it will get utilized somewhere. We'll use it on a cabinet door or something. But I've got to get behind this factory sheathing, I guess I'll just call it. It's kind of a like a plastic material, really. So you're just going to pull out those screws there that attach it. I've got it there on the edge of that gray. But big surprise here. On top of the fridge. Oh, I don't have it turned on. Okay, let me put it back. I got to turn the power on, guys, but I'll just go ahead and tell you, since it was a little spoiler there. We mounted a television. Let me get the inverter turned on.
Still got some issues. So let's try it. If it does, I'm going to try to bounce.
Okay, here it is, guys.
As long as you guys can hear me, we're in good shape. But look at this. XRP price seeing light at the end of the tunnel. I like the way they phrased that. The light at the end of the tunnel.
That's my boy Chip.
Never expected it to see the
Chip
light,
and
right?
Jeff.
XRP. But if you look at some of the...
They're over there at On the Chain. This is the name of the show, so you guys may want to check that out if you haven't invested in crypto yet. They do a daily show usually at night about 5 o'clock Eastern, I believe it is, Eastern time. But we got it up and running. Jeff is usually on the show as well. Really cool group of guys. So we'll flip this around here for you, show you what I did. We just went into that side mount there. As you can see, we've got a gap because the side of the van is actually curved. So being curved, you know, we wanted to get this thing as flat as possible. And we can see here, you know, we're pretty level. Going across the top of that fridge. All looks pretty plumb. And, you know, nothing's going to be perfect in a van because it's going to be bouncing around and such all the time. But I think it turned out pretty nice, guys. I did it this way. And I may end up, actually what I did back here is I just put some washers in here for now. I may end up changing this later. We'll see how it works out. But, you know, I guess it would be best to probably use something like maybe a 2x6. Something that you had a little bit more meat on for one. And then you could put it on the table saw and kind of cut that angle. Get the correct angle so it lays flat. And that's probably really what I should have done, but oh Lord, what a fiasco I went through trying to get this television. And long story short, I went through 3 televisions to end up with this one, and I think I'm going to be happy with it. The remote response is a lot better than the 5200, I believe I ended up with. It was a 40-inch, and we put that all in, but it was just too big. And the issue was the bracket that they sold me. You see, this only comes off the wall about 15 or so inches straight out. And you can see this one's pretty close. Got some wiring hanging down there, holding things up, and I don't want to scratch the screen, but you know, I wanted to be able to flip this 90 degrees. So when we're back there in the bed area or seating area, which it will be both once we get into that, I'll show you guys what route we went on that. But you know, this way you can view it from the back of the van or from the outside of the van. You're setting up, you know, barbecue, grilling out, you know, rainy day, you can come in here and hang out on the lounge or just lay in bed all day and watch some Chip and Jeff, you know, so it'll be really cool. But other than that, you know, if you're outside barbecuing, you want to put a ball game on or something, got a crowd, not everybody can fit in the van, of course, and you know, you're just having a camp out, everybody's got their tents or their vans or campers or what have you. You'll be the popular guy on the block if you got the ball game going. So, you know, this can just be spun around this direction and, you know, tilt it whichever direction you want. So and I like it like this, unlike, you know, the big ones that I've looked into and considered, like a 40-foot fifth wheel. You know, they have the little outdoor barbecue type area, and it's usually got a refrigerator in there and maybe a little stove or something, so it flips up. You know, it's just like an outside luggage compartment, so flips up like this, and they'll have a TV or something in there. Well, imagine all that glare that you're going to get off of that television like that. So this, you know, I can put my windshield cover in like I have here. The side windows are still open, so, but I don't think I'm really getting much glare from the front. It's just the door being open behind me, the slider. But it's you know, pretty much covered all the way around, top, bottom, no reflection. And if the sun was on the right side of the truck, we wouldn't have any glare at all. So I'm happy with it. It's universal. It's out of the way. I can just shove it right up against that wall and maybe throw a bungee cord around it. It's not a technical, quote-unquote, RV style where that would lock. I may look into one of those later, but picked this one up where I got the TV for $100, so we ran with it. So it's mounted, it's secure. I don't think it's going anywhere. I've got to get all this stuff pulled out of here. It's going to be a lot of work, so just kind of wanted to fill you guys in and give you an update. Pretty self-explanatory stuff, because I've got to get in there to insulate. And yeah, why did I do that before I insulated? I guess I probably should have in some ways, but at the same time, when you're trying to lay all this stuff out, you really need to know every quarter inch in this van. You know, you could take measurements offline or what have you, but you know how that goes. When it shows up and it's a half an inch bigger than what it says online, you're screwed if you figured, you know, for that half inch. And like you said, like you can see here, you know, we don't have very much room in between these appliances. The water heater's pretty much butted right up against the wash machine. Wash machine here, we've, you know, got maybe an inch and a half or something in between these guys. So I mean, you need to be dead on with your measurements. So I didn't want to be tearing things back out as far as building. As far as just pulling an appliance forward, like I said, I can just drag them over to here. This isn't even mounted down now, which is one of the advantages of redoing this. So I can just yank this out, redo that base that I've got built down there. Couple cuts with the saw, and then I'll have a little bit more room in here without that cabinet, and we can pull these things forward and get some insulation in that wall, which is much needed. And I've got a couple more pieces up top. As we showed in a previous video, everything's finished in here with the exception of those two pieces. So today's going to be an installation day. Pretty boring, but wanted to give an update on the cabinetry that we're going to go with. This is the one with the missing drawer. So I got it dirt cheap. Let's see here, $31.25. So how can you go wrong, right? 30 bucks, we've got a cabinet. I can flop the sink in here, get rid of these rails, cut a piece of this plywood here, put a fake door on the front. Maybe one of those little guys that flip out to put a sponge in there. We might get those types of hinges because we need to utilize every little inch in this thing, because this is the mid-size Sprinter and you're seeing it done right here on this channel. People do this in the big ones. You know, they're about 3 foot longer and they don't have a wash machine. They don't have a regular type of water heater. You may ask, well, why'd you go that route? Well, I go against the grain a lot of times. Sometimes things just don't make any sense to me. I think outside the box. That's 20 gallons of fresh water. Now, I'd burn up the element in that if I ran it dry. We'd have to change the electrical element outside, inside the water heater if I ran it dry and didn't have water in there. It would fry the element. But when I know my tank is getting low, it's easy enough to shut off the power to that, and I have an additional 20 gallons of water right there. And if I heat it up beforehand, well, you know, that's pretty much how a tank works. If, you know, in your house, that thermostat's just kicking on and off all day and you're heating up all that water. So that water would probably stay hot pretty much all day or all night long. So even if my 40 gallon, I believe, something like that, we're going to put underneath the bed area right in there, right in that area, right underneath the right center of the axles. Once that goes low, boom, shut the breaker off to the water heater, and I still have 20 gallons of fresh water that I can pull through the system. It won't be hot water, of course, 2 days later, but cold water is better than no water. So if I'm out in the mountains for a week or two or what have you, I've got plenty of water. So I can always throw it on the stove here and heat up a little hot water in a pan if I needed to. So that would be the reason I chose that route. I don't have the drawer style refrigerator. This one's made by Unique, a company out of Canada. I do believe it's made in China, but I don't have anything bad to say about it. I did my research on that as well. It's got the most efficient compressor setup. I can't recall the name. That was a while back when I dug into that, but these things are known to be dynamite. So it's been running like a champ, keeping the beers cold. So everything's coming along. We got a fridge now so we can watch Chip and Jeff, or check out old G underscore DLT. And then there's XRP Bags, another good show I keep up with if you're interested in getting in with the crypto stuff. If you're on a late night schedule, G does a late night show just about every night. These guys are on their game. I can't say enough, and thank them all for what they do. So we're going to wrap this up right here, guys, and appreciate you watching. Smash the like, shows me you care. And if you haven't subbed to the channel, why haven't you subbed? We're doing something here that nobody else does. Doing all of this in a mid-size van. So once we get this insulation in today, hopefully maybe tomorrow, I'm thinking at the most, if I can find some free time, get in here, redo this cabinetry. We're going to start doing some electrical, getting some lighting up in this tongue and groove stuff here. So get finished up on the ceiling, get some lighting in here, and things will really light up so you guys can see a lot better. So it's always weather pending here in the high desert, so we are cold one day, hot the next. But weather's starting to break. It's starting to be a lot better outside every day. So, but you know, if you familiar with the high desert, it's nothing for 50, 60 degree temperature changes from night to day. Sometimes 80, 90. I mean, seriously, I've seen it snow here in August. So you just never know. So you guys smash the like I say. If you haven't subbed to the channel, sub. If you haven't checked into crypto, you might want to do it. Things are on a steady uptrend. Things are looking good. XRP is always the last to skyrocket. I think personally that Bitcoin is about fizzled out. So XRP is one of those hidden gems. A lot of people don't even know what it is. It's a company out of San Francisco, so they're here in the States, a company called Ripple, and their cryptocurrency token is XRP. So we'll leave you on that note. We'll give you a little personal financial advice, not for you, of course, because I'm not a licensed person for that. I'm just an idiot building a van. But we're doing some good work here, and this is, you know, teaching everybody hands-on stuff. So if you're into maybe saving a buck, this is the channel, because we need to literally build a house and then some, all in 60 square feet. You could go back on the other previous shows I've done. We put solar on the roof. There's 500 watts of solar up there, folks. So during the day, we're not hurting for anything. This thing is cooking. So we'll be able to wash clothes or anything we want to do in here. So we'll wrap it up there. We'll catch you on the next one. Van Life Biker, and I'm out.